Hey folks, I'm Red Monster SC, and in this video, we're going to cover each of the current mining modules in Star Citizen, what their benefits and practical use cases are, and how you might be able to combine their effects to tackle some challenging mining scenarios. So stick around to learn everything you need to know about mining modules in Star Citizen. I've broken the video timeline up into chapters, so check the description for specific timestamps or hover over the progress bar to skip ahead. So let's get started. There are two types of mining modules in Star Citizen, active and passive. Active modules provide a temporary bonus with a limited number of uses. These bonuses are pretty significant, but you need to be strategic when deciding when to activate them. Active modules only cost a few thousand UEC to purchase because they're meant to be replenished regularly. You activate these mining modules by pressing Left Alt 1, Left Alt 2, or Left Alt 3 based on which module slot you want to activate. Passive modules provide a permanent bonus depending on which module you choose. These bonuses are smaller than the active module bonuses, and they do have trade-offs, but the module bonuses are always being applied. There are also various grades within a family of modules. Higher grade modules will provide a stronger bonus and reduce the downsides. However, they will cost more to purchase. Passive modules can cost tens of thousands of UEC each, both depending on the family of module you select, as well as the grade within that family. An important note to make here is that these module bonuses do stack multiplicatively, meaning that if you were to have two XTR-XL modules that each grant a 50% bonus to extraction rate, you'll actually have a 125% effective improvement. And if you stack a third XTR-XL module, it will increase even further to a 237% increase, for a final extraction rate at 337% of normal. This is a bit of an extreme example, but it helps illustrate the point I'm trying to make. These bonuses are in addition to those granted by your mining laser, so with some proper planning and forethought, you can come up with some pretty amazing combinations. If you've got a favorite combination of mining lasers and mining modules, tell me about it in the comments below. Now let's take a look at the active modules. Many of the active modules include modifications to heat generation and signature size, but these are fairly minor considerations based on the current mining gameplay. I'll be skipping over these parameters and focusing instead on the more unique attributes that each one provides. First is the Lifeline. When active, the Lifeline module provides a 90% reduction in shatter damage and all charge rates. This is most useful if you're strategically overcharging rocks to clear them out of the mining area, or if you're training someone that's new to mining and you don't expect them to know how to turn off the laser for a while. Next is the Optimum. When active, it provides a 75% increase to the optimal charge window size, while increasing instability by 10%. You should use the Optimum on rocks where the optimal window is too narrow to effectively control within. I would not recommend using it on Quantanium due to the added instability. Then we have the Rime, which has an instant activation, taking 30 seconds before it can be used again. This module will instantly reduce a rock's charge window level by 50%. This is a great panic button you can push to hopefully prevent a rock from exploding. I would consider this a better option than the Lifeline for training activities, and would strongly consider equipping one on a laser turret in the Argo Mole, in case one of your laser operators accidentally overcharges a rock. Moving on, the Torpid. When activated, it provides a 20% reduction to resistance, but slows all charge rates by 20%. If you find a rock that's just outside of your laser's effective size range, where you can see the charge level flickering at 0, but it just won't start climbing, the 20% reduction to resistance here could be enough to make the difference. Beyond that is the Brandt. When activated, it provides an amazing 75% reduction to instability, but slows charge rates by 25%. This is a great module to have available when mining Quantanium or Borés due to their high instability numbers, although I would avoid using it during the first break, where those materials are going to be mixed and the instability is somewhat manageable. Instead, activating it when you get to those 100% Quantanium fragments, which are much harder to manage. Leading us into the Forel, providing a 20% reduction to resistance while increasing instability by 10%, once activated. Similar to the Torpid module, use the Forel when you can't get charge levels on a rock to budge under max power in order to give your laser a little boost. The difference with the Forel is that instead of slowing charge rates, it will increase instability instead. There's a fairly minimal trade-off between these two modules. Nearing the end of the list is the Stampede, which increases all charge rates by 125%, but also increases instability by 10%. Use the Stampede when you get into the green optimal zone to cut the amount of time needed to charge, but be careful not to get into the overcharge zone or beyond, as the charge rate increases work there too. This is a great module if you're in a hurry to get in and out of a mining job quickly, which reminds me of an old saying.
There's two types of miners in Star Citizen: patient miners and dead miners.
Finally, we have the Surge, which provides an instant 40% boost to a rock's charge level, but also risks some catastrophic shatter damage and overcharge rate increases. The Surge is perfect if you're working on fracturing a rock at maximum laser power and you can see the charge levels increase, but it's going too slowly. If you can't get the charge levels moving at all, then you should consider first using a Torpid or Forel module to cut resistance, and seeing if that gets the charge levels to move. Otherwise, the Surge will be wasted, since you won't have a powerful enough laser to maintain the charge levels, even if the Surge did manage to get charge levels into the green zone. Like and subscribe now if you're enjoying this video, and leave a comment if you notice anything that isn't clear or might have changed in future versions. Now let's peruse the passive modules. I'm grouping the passive modules into families, with the different tiers of module grouped together. Each passive module provides one beneficial attribute with one detrimental attribute. Higher grade modules will provide a stronger bonus and reduce the downsides. However, they will cost more to purchase. First is the FLTR family of modules. These modules filter out a percentage of inert material being extracted, stepping up from 10 to 15 to 20%. The downside is that the total extraction rate is slowed down by 50% for the lowest grade to a more manageable 30% for the highest grade. These modules are a great addition when you're collecting fragments with higher inert material composition, and I'd consider them a must-have on a mole. Stacking 3 of the Filter XL modules on the same mining laser will actually filter out 48.8% of inert materials thanks to multiplicative stacking bonuses. Next is the Focus family of modules. These modules decrease a rock's resistance by between 6 to 10%, but also increase the instability from between 4 and 6%. These are a good addition if you want to give your mining laser a small effective power bump. Stacking 3 of the Focus 3 modules together will provide a total of 27.1% resistance reduction. And now we have the Rieger family of modules. These modules increase the optimal charge window by between 6 and 10%, while increasing resistance by between 4 and 6%. Oddly enough, the increased resistance actually gets worse with the higher grade modules within this family. Perhaps someone made a typo on the game files and just never bothered to go back in and fix it? Who knows? Ignoring that, I love to see a larger optimal window when mining, and I'd consider this a great addition to your outfitting on any mining laser. Now we find ourselves at the XTR family of modules, providing an increase to extraction rate of between 30 to 50%, while decreasing laser power from between 2 and 4%. These modules help you scoop up materials faster, and that's just about it. The last and easiest part of a mining operation. These are only going to be useful if you're running an extraction specialized ship in a large group operation. Nearing the end, we have the Torrent family of modules. These offer a 2 to 4% increase to laser power while suffering a 4 or 5% increase to instability. If you already have a laser with a pretty high resistance reduction, these could help make the laser just a little bit more effective against those rocks. The power boost seems pretty small, so I'd have a hard time installing these over some of the other modules that are available. And finally, the Vaux family of modules. These modules provide a 6 to 10% decrease in instability while reducing the optimal charge window by 4 to 8%. The instability bonus is pretty respectable, but it will only be appreciated when mining borates or quantanium. With that being said, the Vaux C3 module is a must-have for quantanium mining setups. As I mentioned earlier, these modules can be paired together to provide some very effective combinations. Here are a few examples that I prefer. The first and most useful module combination I've found is a filter combo, using a set of 3 Filter XL passive modules. Each one filters out 20% of extracted inert materials while reducing the collection rate by 30%. These numbers stack multiplicatively, so you'll end up filtering out just under half of the inert materials you extract, while slowing extraction rates to about a third of normal. The laser operator on the filter setup should prioritize extracting fragments that have a high percentage mix of desired materials and inert materials. Because you're going to be collecting a lot of rocks with mixed material to fill up a mole, I'd consider it a must-have combination on one of your laser turrets. The next would be the emergency module combo, or the panic button, using 1 Rime active module and 2 Rieger C3 passive modules. The Rime module, when activated, will instantly cut a rock's charge level by 50%, allowing you to avoid catastrophe when an inexperienced or inattentive laser operator accidentally puts too much power into the rock. The bonus to the optimal window granted by the Rieger modules means that you'll have a larger optimal window to keep within, and the added resistance, while in most cases would be considered detrimental, could actually help prevent additional overcharging. I recommend having an experienced miner on this laser so they can quickly redirect to a rock when one of the other laser operators makes an emergency callout. Just point at the rock, turn on the laser, and activate the Rime module. Next is the optimal window combo, using a combination of the Optimum active module and 2 Rieger C3 modules. When activated, the Optimum module increases the size of the optimal charge window by 75%, with an additional 10% bonus from each of the Rieger modules. With stacking bonuses, you should see the optimal charge window more than double in size. This laser outfitting is useful if you have a rock with a significantly narrow optimal window, or if you just want an easier optimal window target to hit. And last is the extraction combo, using a full set of 3 XTR-XL modules. Each module provides a 50% boost to the extraction rate, stacking for a ridiculous 338% of normal collection speed. The only practical application for this combo is if you're scooping up leftovers in a large group mining event and you don't care what materials end up being collected. That's the only time I would try this combination, and even then, it's more of a joke than actual advice. If you have a different recommendation for mining heads or modules to combine, let me know in the comments below. And there you have it, a complete rundown on the mining modules available in Star Citizen. Next up, I'll do a full rundown on the different refinery locations, location-specific bonuses, and refinement methods available. If you've got questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and check the pinned comment on this video for any corrections or additional details. You can connect with me on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Discord by following the links in the description. And last of all, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because there's a part of your brain right now that's just itching to fill in that thumbs up icon.